We're live, baby, live. Welcome to NCAA Pub Hub. I'm Conor Mack. That is Cab. How are you doing, my man? We're gonna try to get through this show. No producer with us. No nothing on Saturday. No Babano. Internet's bad over here. We're gonna try to get through it. If not, if I go haywire, Cab's gonna kill it and take a few questions, get his shit out, and get it to you guys. Well, let's get right to it. What's going on, my man? How you feeling today? You good?
Good, man. These Saturdays, I mean, they're like fucking Christmas, waking up with all these games. I love it, man. I love college basketball and I love Saturday slates. So ready to get through this shit and make some money today, you know?
Let's do it. Let's get right to the first game here. We got a grip. Yeah, we need to make some cash for the Super Bowl tomorrow. Let's have a big day. Marquette at Georgetown here. Marquette, this opened at 11s, 10.5 basically everywhere. Total right at 152 now. It's gone up a couple points just lately too in the last couple hours. What do you like here, Marquette, Georgetown?
For this game right here, man, for me, I think that Marquette has an advantage at almost every position. And this is just a spot where they might come out and dominate, especially coming off that last loss. I mean, and in their first meeting, Marquette was able to dominate this game. And really, if you look at what Marquette's been doing, 9-3 their last 12 against the spread, so they're covering spreads, even higher numbers. This is not a spot where I'm looking to go against Marquette. I don't know if I want to lay this big of a number. I'm not going against them either.
Yeah, they went to UConn, kind of got slapped a little bit. Good win for UConn. We'll get to them. They play Creighton tough. That game's going to be good, and a Creighton team that's hot right now. But they lose by 15. Not the greatest defensive team, and they gave up 87. I'm a little leery they're flat, but I think they shoot it well here. But I wouldn't go full game. Maybe if you like Marquette, maybe look at them early. But Georgetown, you've talked about a Cab in the past, how good of a first half team is, have been covering numbers. So, I lean Georgetown if I, had to take these points at home. They've been better. They've been better against the number. And I thought long and hard about it. But, on days like this, we got a shitload of games, and I'm going to be off. All right, let's keep rolling. Providence for St. John's here. Providence 5-point favorites. Total right at 151.5. Give it to me, Providence, St. John's.
Man, this one, so we look at St. John's here at home. They've been good at the rack, 10-4 this year at home. But right now, this is an injury-ridden St. John's team. They've got Mathis and Jones are both going to be out. And that's a combined 22.3 points of offense for this team per game, which is a lot. They are 65th in scoring in the country, but when you take out these two guys, I think they're going to find a little bit of a hole. This first meeting between these two teams was close, but Providence was able to pull it off. And here, this is just another spot where I think Providence probably gets the sweep here due to the injuries. And Providence has been hot against the spread and straight up lately. So, and also if you look at St. John's, man, I know they've a few games ago got the win against Georgetown, but every time they take a step up, especially in this conference, they kind of get smacked.
Yeah, this one was tough for me. If you just look at it, you think Providence should take it to them. And there's no time I really want to take St. John's. They've stepped up very little this year. And the defense is just so poor. It's just so poor. Providence should be able to score on them. And you talked about Jones is questionable. You already said Math is out for the season. So I'll be off here. I would need a few more with the Johnnies. They could give a good one at home. I just, I don't want my money on this team right now. Period. Hands down. All right, let's keep rolling. Kentucky, 7.5-point favorites at Georgia. This total is right around 141. How about Kentucky? Played well, Cab, then, bad loss at home. Do they bounce back here? Not an easy one laying this number. Georgia, what do you think?
Man, God, that was brutal against Arkansas. That was brutal letdown for them. Because I thought Kentucky was rolling. I thought they were about to start rolling too. 88th in adjusted defense efficiency, allowing opponents to shoot 43.8%, which is pretty good with Kentucky. And what I'm going to get at here on this is just a matchup advantage. I don't feel like Georgia is going to have the size for Shea way down low. I just think this is a spot where if Kentucky has some, as Pete likes to always say, character, I guess. If Kentucky has some character, this is a spot where they should come out angry. I don't see any reason why Kentucky doesn't dominate this game on the glass, down low. Just
Yeah, Georgia struggles on the boards. What are you looking at? You going to bet Kentucky at all first half? Is that where you're looking?
I haven't bet it. I'm gonna be honest. I've got about 5 bets today, and 2 of them are in the same game. So but I haven't bet this one.
Yeah, they've played, beat up on Georgia a little bit lately. But man, I don't really want them here. I think it might be a good bounce back. Georgia's not very good.
No.
The offense, all in the late 300s. Kentucky's defense, though, has really been hit and miss. At times they play okay, at other times they can get gashed. But yeah, I don't want it here. Let's get to this next game. I think it's going to be a pretty good one. Pittsburgh laying 4.5, 5 versus Florida State. This totals 144, 144.5. What do you think here, Pittsburgh, Florida State?
This is a good one, actually, which is crazy to say. Pitt's been, probably, I guess you could say, middle of the pack on offense, putting up 74.6 points per game on 45.1% shooting. But they do have a plus 2.9 rebound margin. And when you look on the other side with FSU, they have a higher tempo. But even with their higher tempo, they're only putting up 70 games, shooting 44%. And they have the worst rebound margin in the ACC at -4. I think this is a spot where a hot Pitt team should stay hot and cover. I mean, they've covered 4. Let's see, they've won 4 straight and covered 3 straight. And with their defense, Pitt's defense, I think this is another spot where they should take care of business.
Yeah, Florida State's here. They've just been so erratic for me. They've had some good wins and then some horrible losses when I took them. I mean, that NC State game, good God. I think they're horrible on defense. I know this total. I think at 144, it's okay. Pitt's a little bit more of an over team. This year they just put 91 on Louisville. I thought 144 was light. I like this over. I think it gets there. And even if Florida State's in it, they basically got to go back and forth because the defense isn't there. But They are at home. Pitt's now laying points, and that was a big win with Louisville. They went to Carolina and snuck out the win there. But laying 5 now, you got to win by 6 on the road. I just was going to stay off the side in the end and just take the over. All right, let's keep rolling. Penn State versus Maryland. Maryland's laying 8 at home. We all know Maryland's been pretty good all year at home. This is stretching it at 8. This total's at 134. What do you like here, Penn State, Maryland?
Yeah, I mean, you said it, man. You're stretching it with the 8. This is a Penn State team, man, that, when they're on from deep, which they are a lot, they're 18th in the country shooting 38.4% from 3. When they're on from deep, this is a Penn State team that can run away. But they've been cold as of late. They've lost straight up. They've lost 4 out of their last 5. Their only win was that good win against Michigan at home. I mean, I think you said it when you said it that they're stretching the total here. It's just too much for me. It's Maryland or pass. So,
yeah, I think this is a little too far out there though to lay it. But Penn State's so hit and miss when they just shoot a lot of jumpers, a lot of threes, and if they're on, they cover this game, and it's tight. I think it's low scoring too. And these teams have been in the 60s, even, going to last year, 2021, 50, 55, 61, 67. I think we got a low scoring in this one. I'd look at the under if I was going to get involved in this. And man, I think as much Maryland's so good at home, but I think laying 8, I don't know. I'm going to be off, I think, in the end, but I think that game could be tight. All righty. NC State, Boston College here. NC State. This game's a question mark. They, shot it horrible, only scored 50 points. Can they get it going against the Boston College team? Is playing a lot better, Cav, and they're at home where you want them here. I've looked long and hard at Boston College, plus 6.5, but I think NC State shoots it better. This totals 139.5. What do you think here?
Man, so that's, I think we've had this conversation on here a few times. It's sometimes good to go against a team after they have the best shooting performance, or go with them after they have the worst, because it's going to even itself out. But NC State's done this, all season with their up and down. I've seen it all season. And Boston College of late, as bad as they are, they've been covering spreads lately. And that's all that matters, is covering spreads for us. We don't give a shit if they win the game or not. And they've been covering lately. NC State's going to have the advantage on the boards. They're going to have the advantage, pretty much at every part of this game. It's just a matter of do they cover or not? And that's the question that I don't know. I think NC State wins, but I think Boston College could keep it close, within 4 or 5 points.
I agree with you. I think NC State, better team. They probably have a better shooting day, but I think you're going to be long and hard unless you cut games in half, Cap. But
Yep.
If you continuously take teams like NC State laying this, I don't think it'll be profitable full game when they got to win by 8 points or 7, 8 points.
Mm-hmm.
I think BC kind of is the look. If I had to take the points, I've looked at this one a ton, and I might get there. But I have some good action this morning. This one I do. I'm on next. Shout out to the chat. Hit him up, Cab, because I don't have it here.
Oh yeah, man.
I
got you. We got Ron up there. I know he was in there last night cashing on the live stream. Swiss Horton, it's our guy in there.
Swiss.
Troy, man, he's been a great fucking person giving us good action in the chat. He said Maryland off a loss at the house, Big Ten home favorites. I get it, man.
Yep, I get it too.
Yeah. Barry, Jake, man, God, Jay Peasy, Andre, dude, I want to say everyone in there. Smith, Abel, we got a bunch of fucking OGs in the chat today. Shout out to all you guys, man. We appreciate you guys coming and kicking it, rocking it with us. Drop your action in the chat. I'll try and highlight it, okay?
Beautiful. We're running on low battery here. No Babano producer, no nothing. Bad internet with me, but hopefully we can get through it. All right, Cab. Next, West Virginia versus Texas. West Virginia playing a lot better basketball. Texas back here at home. This is 6.5. There were a few 7s. This totals 149. I think there's points scored in this game, but obviously you're not going to bargain at that number. Give it to me. What do you like here, West Virginia, Texas?
Man, this is both these teams. How much you want to look at like the situational stuff, is one thing. But both these teams, West Virginia coming off that big win at home against Iowa State, Texas coming off that tough road loss against Kansas, coming back home. Situationally, for me, this kind of screams Texas, but there's too many points for me to be laying with Texas. I like Texas, but I don't like them at a big spread. So ultimately, I'm going to be off this game. That I'm saying all that just to come around to say ultimately I'm off this game. I like Texas here, though, and situationally, I feel like it lines up for Texas.
I think it does, too. Here, and I talk about the dangerous 6.5, 7, 7.5, but I think they bounce back at home. It is an early start, always gets me, a little bit wake up. They should though, but I think Texas gets it done. I think they played Kansas tough. This team could flat score, and I'd lean to this over. I mean, West Virginia's been more of an over team, Cab. This is long days of them, on unders, and them in the 60s. This team gets up and over the total. So I'd lean that way. Yeah, I'd lay it with Texas. As good as West Virginia is playing, I think it's kind of a flat spot. And they played their worst ball on the road, especially early on. So I'd be on Texas or nothing here. All right, this one I think is going to be quick. South Carolina versus Ole Miss. Ole Miss laying 9, total 133.5. Anything here?
No, I'm just gonna say no. I don't even want to go into this game with all the. I mean, hell, we're not even. We just got into our first noon game. Like we've got so much action, and I haven't even got to the games I bet. This is not one of the games I bet.
Yeah, me either. There's no way I want either team. I don't want to lay 9 points with Ole Miss. Better basketball team, and if I look at this total though, I'd be on the under 133.5. South Carolina scored. I remember maybe it was last Saturday or the last game, but a few more. But this team can't break 60 half the time. So I look at their team total under or the under. All right, Cap, we got the big one here. I'm sure you're interested in this game. Kansas, your Jayhawks, 3.5. It's down to 3 at Oklahoma, where Oklahoma's played their best basketball of the year so far. We'll see if they can get it done. This total's 141. What do you like here, Jayhawks, Sooners?
Look, I get it, and I know that some of the cappers last night that we were with were on Oklahoma, and I understand. Kansas has not been sharp lately at all. They've lost 3, or they've only won 3 out of their last 7 games. They've lost 3 out of their last 4 road games. Oklahoma has a good defense, 55th in D1. I get it. I get why people have love for Oklahoma here, but outside of that step up against Alabama, which was just like, freakish for Oklahoma, their offense has been lackluster. The most they put up in the last 5 games outside of that was 72 against Baylor. And we all know Baylor kind of runs a little bit of a shoot 'em out style. Every once in a while, they'll just let people score and try and outscore them. I like Kansas here, of course. That's what I'm coming around to say all this. Even with how they've been playing, they're putting up 76.1 points per game, good for 78th in the country. I mean, Kansas's defense is good too. I always touch on this. 146 is still above average, giving up 68.5 points per game. I think that Kansas just outplays Oklahoma here. So I got Kansas first half and full game.
Yeah, this one seems like the desperation kind of win at home. Everything you got for Oklahoma after 3 straight losses. If I were you a little bit, I'd stick to first half. These teams play tough games too.
Yeah.
They just are. Close ones, 3-point game, 2-point games. Kansas the better team. I talk about, unless they can roll with it, Cab, the depth on this Kansas team is so good, the starting five, but that's about it. These guys play huge minutes. And Oklahoma's the shooting, though. Can they get hot? They are at home. They just struggle to score at times. And the defense hasn't been as good as it has been. Early on, I think it's been a little bit more leaky. But being back home, I think, helps them out. I'd be on the Sooners plus 3.5 or nothing. All right, let's keep rolling. Virginia Tech versus Notre Dame here. Va Tech, -5. This team's starting to struggle here. Can they get it done versus Notre Dame? This total's 143. What do you like here?
I don't really like a lot in this game either. This Notre Dame team, God, what was it? Okay, it was Jimmy's show when they were playing Georgia Tech, and we broke it down. And yeah, he was on Georgia Tech, and I liked it. And anytime you're able to take a team that's on a 9-game losing streak, that says something about the other team that you're taking them against. And that's Notre Dame, who I took them against. I got no interest in being involved in this game. If I was, it would be Virginia Tech, because I got nothing to do with this Notre Dame team right now. So, but I'm off all around.
Yeah, crazy as I'd say, I'd be on Notre Dame if I had to. This Tech team just, they've had close losses on the road. They're 0-7. They're just They're just not good on the road. I'd be on Notre Dame or nothing here. And I'd lean over. Notre Dame's got to hit their shots, and I think they will more at home. And VTech, I don't think their defense is that great, especially on the road. I'd lean to this over here at 140. All righty, Clemson, North Carolina. Carolina laying 7 at the crib here. Total's 146.5. You like Carolina in this one or Clemson? What do you got?
Look, this isn't something that we can quantify. So this is just what I saw. And I'm just going to say, I know what I saw. North Carolina's body language was fucking terrible against Wake Forest. And I can't stand getting behind teams that, dude, before they even were down by a ton in that game, they quit. And you could just tell every one of them fucking quit. I can't get behind teams that do that shit. For me, it would be Clemson or pass. North Carolina, something's going on with them. They just got fucking shit face attitudes nonstop, and I want nothing to do with this team.
Yeah, they are at home here, Cav, but
True.
This team doesn't shoot well from the outside. I've been impressed with Clemson. It's just, do you think Clemson plays well on the road? And they have this year, where in years past, I want nothing to do with this team on the road. Obviously, North Carolina could have a big, home win here. But I would lean Clemson. I think this is too many points for a team that shoots it pretty well. 80% from the free throw line this team makes its free throws. I would want that later too in a full game. And I'd lean over just a little bit here on this total. Carolina's been a little up and down with their totals. The defense hasn't been that bad. But if I had to look at this total, I'd look at the over. All righty, big one here, Big Ten. Rutgers versus Illinois. Illinois 5-point. We got a low total, obviously, here, 132.5. What are you going with? Illinois at home?
That's the only way I would go here. I was on Indiana against Rutgers last game, and it came down to the absolute wire. The way their defense is always is going to give Rutgers a chance, it seems like, to be in the game. And Illinois, when you look at their free throw percentage, anytime you're laying points with the team at home laying points with anybody, you want to know how their free throws are going to be. 303rd in the country, shooting 67.3% for Illinois. So they struggle at the charity stripe. They struggle from deep, but as far as boards go, Illinois should dominate this one. And Rutgers on the road just isn't the same team. They're not the same team as they are at home. At home, absolutely, I'd take Rutgers here. They're not at home. I'm off the game, but I lean Illinois.
More I'm on it, I want Illinois. I think this is just a bad one for Rutgers. Over the years, it's been a bad matchup for them, especially away from home. One thing, Rutgers, though, away from the rack's been a little bit better this year. I mean, like you said, they almost covered that Indiana game. Was close.
Yep.
But didn't get it done. I'd lay it here only, with Illinois. Lay the 5. I think they get it done here. All right, another big one. SEC, Alabama. 2.5 point favorites versus Auburn. Obviously, the rivalry, not football here, Iron Bowl, but basketball version. Totals 154. What do you like here? Bama, Auburn.
This is another one, right, where I feel like they're just begging me to bet Bama, and I'm probably going to fucking do it. Which I know. I probably shouldn't, but it's like, damn, man, like, and this is one of those games where it's going to be a good game no matter what. It is. It's a rivalry. But Auburn, man, they're just not it. I know that 3 of their last 4 losses have been on the road. When they lost to A&M, they lost to Tennessee. And I even said it. They should have been shooting to tie the game against Tennessee. But I think, C-Mac, I think you might have been the one who said it. Tennessee fucking lets down at the end of the season every year. This is what we always see from Tennessee. This is what they do. It's the end of the season. I expect Tennessee to lose more games. It's what they do at the end of every year. And then you look, they lost to West Virginia on the road. It was a close game, but they did lose to A&M at home. So they have been vulnerable at home. The only win Auburn has in their last 5 was against Georgia. And Auburn, like I think Kentucky is going to do to Georgia, bullied Georgia in that game. It was just straight fucking bully ball.
Yeah.
I don't know. Alabama's not an offense I'm looking to go against. I have not bet it yet, but I lean Alabama.
This is a classic, Auburn, back-to-back losses on the road. That low-scoring game last Saturday with Tennessee, that was ugly. I mean, I had the points in the under. I was happy, but it was ugly basketball. And they lose at A&M. Bam, off the huge slaughter of Florida, where they won by 40 points.
Yeah,
there. I would just stay off. It's just too big of a rivalry, too big here. Auburn's going to be up for this one, needing to win at home.
Stadium.
I look their way. It will be. I'd look their way. I mean, obviously, Alabama's just so talented they could go in there and win, but this spot is not great for them. Maybe their talent pulls out first half, but at full game, I look at Auburn. I think they win this game. Let's keep going. Some people have said it is great. If not, maybe stay off that game if you got a little back and forth on it, because there's a ton of basketball games today. Let's keep rolling here. Another big one. These teams, as I got into it, played close games, and man, this should be good. UConn versus Creighton. UConn, 3 straight wins. Here, Creighton though has been money at home. 4, it's moving up a little bit. There's some 4.5. This totals 142. What do you like, UConn, Creighton?
God, this is going to be a good game, man. Both of these offenses are so electric. And you look, like you said, UConn has won 3 straight, but Creighton's won 5 in a row? Is it more than 5? I know they've won their last 5. And they got, decent wins in there. They got a win against Xavier. The win against Seton Hall was good last game. UConn, though, I kind of expected, like you expect with any team, to hit a rocky spot, which they did. And lately they've looked like they've turned that corner. I kind of would lean UConn here, but I'm off this game.
Yeah, going through it, these teams play some close games. This 4 has got me a little bit like, fuck. I think Creighton gets it done. They had that loss back January 7th, 69-60. Then they lost to Xavier by 3, and they've ripped off, 7 in a row.
7
Creighton.
in a row.
I like how they shoot it, too, at home. They look good. That last game, Seton Hall struggles to score. They easily won 75-62. This one could be dangerous, but I think it's Creighton here. I would lay the 4. I think they get it done at home. This will be big for UConn. I'm a little worried. They won 3 in a row. They haven't been good on the road, Cab, since early on in the year when it was basically neutral. They had a few good road wins, but they haven't played well.
I know everybody bets their own way, but I don't just like favorites. I take dogs also, and I love when I get dogs on the road, or when I get dogs with points in the first half that I like. I don't necessarily, if you like Creighton, I wouldn't hate Creighton in the first half.
All right, let's look at this one. Vandy off the upset win against that Tennessee team we talked about. We'll get to them later here. Florida got drubbed by 40. We already talked about that at Bama. This total's 139.5. I think it's too high after that crazy game with Florida, because all year these games have been in the 60s for them. What do you like here, though? Vandy, Florida, hit it.
Bro, there's with so many good games today. This is another one that I do not like. I would only look Florida 9.5. I know it feels like a lot of points to lay with a struggling team that's only won 3 out of their last 5, lost their last 2 in a row on the road. But both these teams. So you look at Vandy, they're coming off a win at home against Tennessee. Florida is also their last home game they won against Tennessee. Okay, the 3 games they lost were on the road. Then you look at the home game before that against South Carolina. 81-60. They're coming back home where they're obviously more comfortable, which is a dumb statement, I know, but it's true. And Vanderbilt, is still, even though they got that big win against Tennessee, it's like that's their season, right? Because that was the biggest thing they're going to do all year. So I don't know. I'd look Florida here or just stay off.
Yeah, I would too. It's just off the huge win, the rivalry between that's so big in that state. Vandy played really good. We talked about Tennessee slipping maybe down the stretch like they do every year. It's just a bad spot, I think, and Florida's got to be pissed off. It is 9, though. It's a lot. I'd lean that way. Maybe look to them early. It's just this team is a great shooting team, Cab, but I'd look to them maybe first half to get it done here with Florida. And this total, I just think is too high, and I could be wrong, and they maybe score a ton again. But Vandy doesn't exactly light it up. Their defense at times can be leaky and not great, but Florida's defense has been pretty good all year, surprisingly. And they don't play fast, so I like this under 139.5. I think this is 4 or 5 points too high. All right, UNLV Rebs here at San Diego State. San Diego State 9.5-point favorites. This total right around there too, 139.5. What do you like here?
I'm always interested to see. I don't know why. I know it's stupid, but it's the same whenever people are like, oh, what do you think on the Texas team? I'm always interested to see what you say on this one. I feel like this could just be too many points. San Diego State with the just absolute knockdown, drag it out game against Utah State. They came out on top, winning by 2. I think they were 2.5-point underdogs in that game. So it was a good win for them. Yep. UNLV on the other side, winning 4 out of their last 5. Their only loss was a bad hiccup against Fresno State. But outside of that, they've been doing well. I think maybe it's too many points here, but I'm ultimately off this game.
I'm off this too. I want nothing to do with it. UNLV struggled lately for San Diego State. I think they can hang within this number, or they could lose. San Diego State too. Just not all the team I love laying on basically double digits with all the time. I just don't want to do it. This is a stay off for me. All righty, let's get to this big one. Duke. This Duke team can't shoot, Cap. God damn. Versus Virginia. Virginia's laying 6 here at home. This total is 126. What do you like here?
Well, I was so mad at myself for not being on Miami against Duke. I was so mad at myself for not being on Miami against Duke.
Well, I had the over. I had Miami, but I had that over, and it didn't get there. They couldn't score at all. And
because
it was like
of
short
Duke,
by 2 or 3 points.
Yeah. What the fuck,
yeah,
bro?
Rough.
Like you said, man, the team just can't shoot. But this is a situation though. God, and I hate to say it. I'm not betting it, but I'm just gonna have to say this is a situation where you're going against Virginia, who, Virginia's defense is stellar. And I think that Virginia wins this game by their defense, but I still think it could be close.
Tight.
Yeah, I think this game could be tight. I really do. It's just fuck, man. I'm not in the business of laying points with Duke or taking points even. I'm not in business betting Duke right now, I should say. Yeah.
I know. It's tempting. I bet you people are like, Duke, 6 points. And they do. These matchups are tight, like you said. Duke doesn't shoot it well. I on the under. I mean, I know it's 126, but I wouldn't be running to the over in this game. That's the way I look at it here. Let's get to the next one. This should be quick. Wisconsin laying 3 at Nebraska. This total is 127. Wisconsin, has gotten a couple wins lately, playing a little bit better, but laying 3 on the road. Anything here?
No, man, I'm off this game.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you said it. The only place that Nebraska does show up is at home. It's not all the time, but they did get the last game against Penn State at home. And Wisconsin's offense is just so fucking bad, man. I mean, 303rd in the country in field goal percentage, only putting up 65.1 points per game. That's 330th. I'm not in the business of laying points with the offenses that bad.
Exactly. I'm not going to do it. They've looked a little bit better. Obviously, they're a little more healthy, and they've scored a little bit lately. But yeah, a team that can't get to 70 much all year, and Nebraska's been slow. Their defense hasn't been as great lately. And what team are they going to show up? They do play better at home, but is Nebraska going to show up here? I want more points, to tell you the truth, to even look Nebraska. And total wise, I'd be off. I'd only be on the under. These offenses, not good. All righty. Shout out to the chat. Hit the like button. Shout out to all our guys in here. MDR, what's up, my man? Craig Wood. Everybody, hit him up because I can't see anything, my guy.
I got you, man. Craig Wood, he hopped on stream with us last night. Got to see him on stream for the first time. Shout out to him, man. Nuke worker.
I saw him on there.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Love all you guys, man. Ron, Swiss, everybody. Lee, keep putting it in there. If I don't see it, there's Joe saying, "What's up, man? Good to see you, Joe." Put your action in there. If I don't highlight it, I'll come. I'll try and see it. I'm doing my best keeping up with the production end of it. I get talking about the games and forget, but keep putting the action in there. Let me know what you guys bet, and I'll highlight it.
Definitely. And don't worry about the highlight. Try to do it. We're running by. Low team here, low battery, as I said. Baylor, TCU. Baylor's pick'em lane 1. TCU here. They are at home. This total is 149. A little bit high, I think, but it might get over. What do you think here? Baylor, TCU, what do you like?
So I bet this one. Look, I've already taken Baylor on the money line in the first half, and I took Baylor on the money line in the full game here. Baylor right now won 8 of their last 9. They're second in the Big 12, 1 game behind Texas. So, I mean, this is important to them. At this time of year, it's important to find, are people already in the tournament and they're not going to have a chance to win the conference? Like, are they kind of cruising, things like that. And I think Baylor right now is just the hotter team. And if you look at what they've got coming up, they've got K-State, Kansas, Texas, Iowa State on deck. So if they want to have a chance in this Big 12, this is a game that they got to win here against TCU, who's been reeling since Mike Miles Jr. came out. They're just not the same team. I mean, this team can't shoot from deep. Last game, they only hit 3 of 17. And second half of the last game against Kansas State, TCU allowed Kansas State to shoot 61.5%. Without Mike Miles Jr., if you let people shoot even close to that, this team is going to get ran. And that's what happened last game.
Yeah, I heard Miles practice. He's nowhere. He's still a ways away, I think. Lampkin out. I got to check to see if I'm going to wait. I think it's pretty big with Cryer. He's at foot. I think he's going to go, but I don't know. I want him in, though, for Baylor. But I think it is. I think this is just a low, tough time for TCU. They are at home, but if you mentioned, I bring it up all the time, even early on, Cap, because I thought it'd catch up to them. They're shooting 29% from 3, even though they're very good inside and can create, but no Miles, and then you can't shoot 30%. It's just tough for me to back them. I know they're at home. Baylor's just playing really well. I don't know if I get there in this game, but I'm looking at Baylor with you running hot. All right. I don't know if we have much on this. If you like it. Georgia Tech, got all right win. What was that earlier in the week against Notre Dame? But haven't been good all year. Wake Forest laying 13.5. This total's 147.5. Anything here?
No, this is just a spot. That's a big in-state rivalry win for Wake Forest last game. Do I think Wake Forest loses this game? Fuck no, I don't think they lose this game. I just don't know if they could easily cover this spread if they want to. It's just a matter of fact if they want to or not. And I'm not in the business of betting those games.
I agree. It's just a big number. If the shots are just crazy, they could cover and run away. But Wake does give up some baskets, and that could leave Georgia Tech hanging around, Cap. So that's why, Wake wins it, but I don't want to lay this number. Wake overs, obviously we talk about it, whatever it is, 14-1 or something like that, the last 15. I mean, that's the only way I could look. Georgia Tech doesn't have a great defense, so take the over here. All righty. USC versus Oregon State. SC 9-point favorites. Oregon State at home. Damn. This total is 130.5. I'd look under Oregon State. Under. I don't know how they break 60 this game, but do you want to lay it with SC?
No. And I don't mean to be short on some of these games, but this is just one where I'm off, man. Like you said, if I was going to be on USC, maybe in the first half, I'd cut that number in half, but I'm off this game. Oregon State, what? They had 60 against Colorado, but then you look, man, 44 against Utah, 57 against Arizona State, 52 against Arizona, 47 against UCLA. Yeah. This is just fucking as bad as it gets. Field goal percentage only shooting 42%, only putting up 61.4 points per game. I mean, Oregon State, like I said, it's as bad as it gets.
Yeah, their team total under has always been money this year, and their unders have been good when I've took them. They show up every once in a while at home, and they just got drubbed, right? They didn't cover. They were like 19-point dogs, right, Arizona? I think they didn't cover that game. I think they lost by over 20. Watch it if I were SC. They should just go in there and win. But Oregon State, tricky spot there. All righty, this big game here, Big Ten. Indiana at Michigan. Michigan 2.5. That's what I got. It's 3, Cab. Now everywhere. They're 3.5, as I just said. I laid it with Michigan. Indiana playing good basketball, but I don't want them on the road. I think this is a huge game for Michigan, who's playing a little bit better. So Michigan it is for me. You like Indiana? You on mute? You muted?
Shit. No, I'm not on them here. I'm not somebody who's usually huge on the line movement, but I think books might have showed their hand a little bit because after this open, they ran towards Michigan. This shit just ran towards Michigan. Obviously it's going to be a big matchup with Davis and fucking Dickerson down low. And Davis has shown that he can go against the best bigs like he did against Edey with Purdue. But again, whenever it shows something and the line runs in another direction, I'm not just super excited to jump on the other side.
Indiana, winners 7 of 8, have had some okay road wins. I don't know. I don't trust them. When they played some good road teams, 1-6-1 the last 8 with the team, 600 winning percentage. I think it's Michigan here. And I don't really love this Michigan team, but I thought they've been playing better. This is a game they need. This is a game they can't mess around with and lose. This just would be backbreaking. So I do think it's a Michigan spot here. All righty, let's keep rolling. Missouri versus Tennessee. This line's moved here, Cab. This opened 10 up to 12, total 141.5. The Vols, they're back at home where they play their best basketball, but not playing their best basketball as late. You want to lay it here with Tennessee?
No. I don't want to lay it with Tennessee. And this is a game, Missouri's offense, going against Tennessee's defense, which Tennessee does have a great defense. This is just, like I said, Tennessee towards the end of the season, I'm not in the business of betting. They lost to Vanderbilt. They lost to Florida. In between beating Auburn and Texas. The fuck, man. I can't bet on a team that does that. I would only be able to go against them, and I'm not ready to do that yet either.
Yeah, I don't want anything here. Missouri hit and miss on the road. Their defense isn't great. Tennessee should be locked in, after losing that game and not looking great lately. It's just you got to lay the 12 here. And they could just kill them, or this game could be close. I want nothing to do with it.
What's going on with Tennessee's offense, man? These last 3 games, 65, 46, and 54 points in their last 3 games. It's just like...
Well, they were outscored. What they were, like this team, to me, isn't great offensively. They're still really good defense. So when they struggle to score, they're going to have problems. That's why they're going to get booted in the tournament.
Yep.
And anybody has a ticket, prove me wrong. Rick Barnes, prove me wrong. Get to the Final Four at least. So the offense to me is just hit and miss. And man, they've looked really good at times, especially at home. And that's where they're at here. And they should shoot it better. Just I don't want the number. Mississippi State here, Cav. Arkansas 6.5, low total 129.5. I think. You like anything here?
I'm off this one also, man. Mississippi State here. both these teams are running hot. Mississippi State's won 4 straight. They've got good wins in there against Missouri. They've got a good win against TCU. And they played Alabama close, only losing by 3. Arkansas on the other side, as injured as they've been, they're still finding a way to win big games like they showed us against Kentucky last game. So I'm off ultimately here just because one thing that Arkansas does do good is they got a 48%. They shoot 48% from the field as a team. They get to the rack. They get to the rim. They do a good job. And I think they might be able to exploit that here in this game, but I'm off.
Yeah, Arkansas finally looking good. I think it just took time. Those guys out, it's like they had to learn to play without him, and it looked rough for a while. Yeah, but they've looked better. And that big win against Kentucky, they've been great at home. Maybe the number's still 6-5. Mississippi State could really slow this down. I'm worried about, and they could maybe cover this. So I don't want anything here in this one. Both teams, too, to me, at heart, slow down under, especially lately. Arkansas's defense has looked a lot better of late. So I'd look under. Total, you're not getting a bargain, though, at around 129.5. All right, let's keep it rolling. Shout out to the chat. There's our guy, Big Show. Robert Franklin, what's up? Robert, Army, I'm on them, my man. I'll hit that. We'll hit that at the end on the extra board, a couple games. I do like it. So there we go. Oklahoma State, Iowa State. Iowa State's laying 6. They're back at home. Here, this total is 127. Anything in this game?
I mean, if you're going to bet Iowa State, you take them at home. They've only won 3 out of their last 5 games, but all 3 games were on the road that they lost to West Virginia, Tech. And we saw what happened against Tech. They melted with that 23-point lead. Missouri. But back at home, they got big wins in those last 5 games against Kansas and Kansas State, about as big as it gets. Iowa State at home is just a different animal. Oklahoma State, though, on the flip side, they're playing better basketball after that tough loss to Texas, where I know it was 75-89, but I had bet Texas in that game. That game was a lot fucking closer than 75-89. And ever since that game, they've won 4 straight. I lean Iowa State here. I don't know if it's too many points. The spread's getting a little stretched. I wish it was a few points less, and I'd be all over Iowa State. Iowa State also struggles with the free throw line, 66.9%, which I hate getting behind a team that struggles at the free throw line with a 6 or a 7-point spread. Yep,
exactly. If this game's a little bit close, that's what scares me. I think this is out there a little bit too far. You mentioned that this was 3. Something like that, 3.5 I'd look at. And they've been money at home if they shoot it well, and then they depend on their defense. I mean, they clamped down. Kansas had a rough day, 53 points. They've done that to a ton of schools. And a little rough stretch. 3 of the last 4 have been on the road, and they've lost those, but they're back here at home. I think they win the game. I'd just be leery of the 6 there. All right, Louisville, Miami. Come on now, 20.5. Miami wins this game, but by how many? Cavs total's 147. What do you like?
I mean, I'm not nothing, man. Nothing. You said it. Miami wins this game, but by how many? I mean, they might have some fun. I mean, they're at home. So when we're sitting here saying, oh, like, let's grab the points and just hang on. I mean, maybe, but they might have some fun with this game. You know what I mean? Like, they might let loose, let their hair down, so to speak, and spank Louisville's ass. I want nothing to do with this game.
Yeah, I want nothing to do with it. Maybe Miami team total. I haven't looked at it. I'm sure it's below 80 or around there. Let's keep going. K-State, Texas Tech. This game is a pick'em, right around there. Total 145. What do you like here? Should be a good game. K-State, Texas Tech.
Man, this was a tough one for me. I almost got on K-State here, and I know that Tech at home is what Tech is at home. In that Iowa State game where it came back, I had Iowa State in the first half, and it didn't hurt me one bit that Tech came back and won that game because I already won my bet, and I could give a shit less if Iowa State wins a basketball game or not, as long as I win my money. So I didn't care, but I know what Tech does at home, and that's the only reason ultimately why I ended up staying off is just because at home this team's still been a force. They finally showed some chink in that armor this year, losing a couple. They lost their last one at home against West Virginia before Iowa State. But, yeah, they're coming back home where they're comfortable, coming off a couple tough road losses to Baylor and Oklahoma State here. And Kansas State, The Big 12 is fucking tough, man. Kansas State, even as good as they are, they've only won 2 of their last 5 games also because they've got losses against Texas, Kansas, and Iowa State. And this is just, you got to feast when you can. And this is just a spot where I think they can. So I would only play Kansas State or not.
Yeah, I don't want anything in this game. Texas Tech just isn't as good this year, but they are at home and they have played better. And I want a few more points with Texas Tech because I think they could win this game. I just got to trust them shooting the ball, but I think they will play better at home. But I'm going to be off. I don't want to get involved in this one. I'm out of here. All right. Arizona versus Stanford. Arizona laying 9 here in this game. Like Arizona at all?
Man, it just these are tough. This is such a tough spot. I think Arizona could cover this spread. And Stanford coming off of 2 back-to-back losses against Arizona State, against Colorado. That really the Arizona State one, that's kind of expected. Colorado's a bad loss though. And Arizona's been hot. They've won their last 5. They've got they put up the 12th most points in all of college basketball. 8th most points per game at 83.4. And you look on the other side, Stanford's averaging 68.4, a little bit below average, with a below average field goal percentage of 43.7. I don't like laying 9 points on the road. That's all it is.
Yeah, and it's down. There's 8 and 7.5.
It is.
Money coming in here, Stanford.
I mean, if it comes down to 6.5, I'll bet it.
Really? Huh. It might get there. I think it probably stays right at 7. It might get to 6.5. Yeah, I thought this was a little bit too many. Stanford's playing really well at home, but I have a hard time trusting them. But they've proved me wrong, especially lately. But Arizona's a different animal. But they can go on the road and beat up some cupcakes. I don't think this will be easy for them to win by 9 or more. I look the other way. Seton Hall, Villanova. Villanova 5-point favorites. This total is 131. Obviously pretty low. You trust Villanova, who's playing a little bit better here, Cap?
Kind of, right? And you look at Villanova at home; they're a much better team at home. Their last loss at home was against Providence, but it was only a 5-point loss against a good Providence team. Whereas Seton Hall, they're coming off that loss against Creighton, so they should have some motivation from that. Their last 2 losses are Creighton and Marquette, so they're only losing to the top part of the competition. But I will say this: Villanova, for all the struggles, for all the letdowns, they are the best free throw shooting team in the country, hitting 82.6% of their free throws. And if you're going to lay points with somebody at a 5, 6, 7-point spread, you want them to be able to shoot free throws. So there is that.
Yeah. The total to me is a little bit maybe too low. I wish it was a few points higher. I like be on the under. Seton Hall struggles to score at times. Villanova turning around. But do you want to lay 5 with them? Not really. I think they win though here at home. We'll see. This is a pretty big game for them. They need wins now. Have any shot here going forward. So yeah, I just don't want to lay the 5. But yeah, the last few years, this Nova team, one thing you can count on, they shoot the free throw well. They've been number 1 in the country just about the last 3 or 4 years or so. All righty, Arizona State at Cal. Man, 9.5-point favorites. Cal, goddamn Cal. This total 129.5. Anything here? You're on mute.
Shit. I could go into it and talk about it, but we've talked so many games. I'm not just going to ramble for no reason. I got nothing on this game.
Yeah.
Only would look Arizona State, not Arizona State, even with 17-8 this year, they've slowed down a bit lately, so to speak. But yeah, I'm off this game completely. Cal sucks, bro. Cal's fucking terrible.
Yeah. And they haven't looked good at all the last 4 or 5. Not even at home. So them playing like that, I don't want it. But this could be, one of these games, Arizona State just sleepwalking through it.
Man.
And yeah.
You said it. So I'm sitting here looking across on their last 5. They did put up 62 against Arizona, but that's because Arizona was pushing the pace and they put up 85 of their own. But before Arizona, 46, 46, 46, and 48 points. And they've lost all of their last 5 games by double digits.
Yeah, I don't think they break 60 here. I look at their team total under or the under. Cal unders have been solid as well. You know, that game got under. Obviously, Arizona scoring all the points, but would they rip 4 straight before that? This might be a little bit too high. I'm going to look at it a little more. I could be on this under late tonight. Texas A&M versus LSU. A&M 6.5-point favorites. This total 138.5. Does LSU have a shot here at home?
Man, first off, the first thing I have to say is it hurts me that I haven't caught any bets on this A&M team because, you know, they, in my opinion, I kind of was a little low on them. I didn't expect very much out of them, and I still don't expect very much out of them. But they're playing better than I expected.
They're good. They're playing good ball, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. They're playing better than I expected, which is fun to see. You know, they beat Auburn on the road, then they came back and beat Auburn at home. They lost to Arkansas on the road, which was a tough road loss. But you know, LSU, fuck, man, what do you want me to say about LSU? The five losses in a row here. They're usually not doing a good job of keeping it within 10 points, or keeping it right at about 10 points in all their games. LSU, no, I want nothing to do with this. I think A&M can probably cover this spread, even on the road.
Yeah, I think they could too. It is a road game, and it's a little too far for me stretched out here, 6.5. And LSU's the struggle shooting is just so bad. This team just can't hit shots at all. Shout out to our guy, Dami Gunn. What's up, my man? Dana, what's going on? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hit the like button if you haven't. Yeah, so I'll be off here. How about this one, Cab? You probably got a bet on this game, do you? UCLA, the Bruins, 2.5-point favorites. That's your favorite team. Quack, quack. The Ducks. This total 133.5 here. What do you like?
Man, I love that you could tell because that's funny. But yeah, I got slapped too. I did what I knew not to do, and I bet against Oregon last game with USC, which was a terrible bet. USC got slapped the entire game up and down the court. But I was all over USC. I can't help it. I liked USC a lot in that game, and I like UCLA here in this game. Oregon. What can I say, though? They've been hot, man. Their only loss in their last 5 games was against Arizona, which they weren't able to keep it close. But Arizona was out for blood in that game because Oregon did beat Arizona the time before that. So Arizona was out for blood that game. I just think UCLA here, they have the advantage on both ends of the court. I know this game should be a slugfest, but last time these two teams met, UCLA forced 15 turnovers. And even though Oregon's cleaned it up a bit, I think UCLA's defense is stellar, and I think they're going to be able to keep. I think they're going to be able to keep the turnovers going. UCLA's defense on that, they're 9th in scoring defense, only allowing 59.7 points per game. I think the defense, prevails in this one. I like UCLA here. I took them in the first half.
There's a guy, Nasty Nate, later, my man. This one's tough too. Oregon playing a lot better. I'd look at the under, though. I think this is just a low-scoring slugfest of a game here. Well, this would be a big win. Oregon's going to be up for this one. You mentioned, though, they have to clean up the turnovers because UCLA's defense is really good, and they come to play on the road. And that's been good. That's been huge for them. I wish I grabbed some UCLA for national championship a little while back while they were getting a good number, but I didn't. This game could be tough, though. Oregon, I was hoping to get 2 point, 4.5. I'd like it a little bit better just in case this game's tight down the stretch. But it should be a good one. All right, BYU upset the other night. Pepperdine. Man, they lost by 10. Pepperdine shot the lights out. They go to Gonzaga, where they had that tight game at home versus them. Gonzaga looking good. Down, what was it, San Francisco? I think it was 99-81. Got the cover. They're laying 12.5 here. This total is 155. Even at 155, I think it gets over total. The way Gonzaga's scoring and BYU's defense, unless they come to play, switch something up, you give 92 to Pepperdine. I mean, so I lean this over. I think I might be on it. I'm going to probably stay off, though. Gonzaga laying it. What do you like here?
I mean, you said it. If you're giving up 92 to Pepperdine, what are you going to do here? And their defense has been better than that for the most part of the season, but they gave up 82 to San Francisco 5 games ago also. And like you just said, this Gonzaga, I mean, with all their I guess early season letdowns, they still are the best offense in the country, putting up 86.2 points per game. Excuse me, shit. Best offense in the country. They got the highest field goal percentage in the country, 52% shooting. They do fall off on the free throw line, which is frustrating, but 21st from the 3-point line. I mean, yeah, like you said, man, BYU is going to give up 92 to Pepperdine. How many are they going to give up here? 105? Like, I don't want anything to do with BYU. I think 12.5 could be a little much, but I'm off.
Yeah, that first game too stayed under this number, but it really got tight kind of late. Gonzaga ended up, coming back. They were down there, and BYU couldn't make a shot. 75-74. I'd lean over. I think Gonzaga, probably gets 85 at least here. All right, Colorado versus Utah. Utah at home here, laying 4. This total is 136.5. Anything here?
No, I lean Utah here, man. But they've been letting down a lot lately. Utah's ahead, of Colorado in pretty much every metric that you can look at. They're even on field goal percentage. Both these teams shooting 44.2%. And Utah might have had that get right game they needed against Cal. I mean, that's what Cal has become, is a get right game for teams, and maybe that's what Utah had because they were coming off the tough losses against Stanford and Oregon back to back. I would only play Utah here, but I'm off.
Yeah, I look to Utah. I don't want to be involved in this game at all. Utah does play better at home. But I don't want it. I really had nothing in this one. It was a pass for me. Last one here. Then we'll get to any games you want to touch on. I'll hit a bunch. We'll hit up the chat a little bit. We'll get on out of here. Washington versus Washington State. Wazoo's laying 7 at home. This total is 136. Washington has been a good over team for me. Washington State's been a great under team for me. They're at home with the pace. I'd lean under, but I'd probably not get involved. What do you like here?
Another game where I'm just off this one. I think the line's telling. I think by going out there all the way at 6.5 or so, getting up there, they're kind of. I think Washington State probably can cover this. I just think that they're the more, aggressive team. Like you said, they're the better defensive team. They're going to be better on the glass. But this is a rivalry game. I'm off.
Yeah, it is that rivalry game. Washington State the better defense, but laying 7. This game could be close. Line hasn't really budged. There's 1, 2, maybe 6.5 out there. I'm not sure. I get involved here. All right, that is it. Cab, is there any games you want to hit up before I run it through a shit ton?
No, I'll let you run through them, but I guess I'll throw one out there. I think Utah State could bounce back here, especially in the first half. You're getting pretty low.
I'm on it. I think they bounce back. I'm on it.
Love it. Okay, well there you go. I think first half is a good spot for Utah State to bounce back. That's the only one. So I love that. Go ahead, you take it.
Yeah, I'm on that. I think this is a good bounce, but they're not the best team away from home, but they can shoot it, and I think they go in there, especially early, and get it done. I like the bet a lot. All right, let's get going. Murray State, Bradley, I'm on this under 138.5. This total is way too high for me for a Bradley game. Murray State's defense has been horrible. This team's not good on the road, but they've struggled to score. I think that game is under. Middle Tennessee, UAB, give me the over 148. I think this game gets up and down. UAB, man, what a tough loss, man. Unbelievable. 3-point loss. I had them at 2.5. Goddamn, I was hot, Cab. App State, South Alabama. This App State team just keeps cashing unders for me. I mean, I don't know. It's like 6 in a row. It's at 130. It's too high. Just take the under. App State, South Alabama. There. We touched on Boston College. Don't know if I get there. Denver, North Dakota over 148 in that game. I'm looking at South Florida plus 9.5 there. Eastern Michigan getting 11. Can they hang around again here? I think they might. So I might be on them plus 11. Utah Tech now back at home here, only laying 2.5. They get it done. Utah Tech, Southern Utah have been good for me when I just stick to them at home. I think they cover the number there. Obviously, the Pepperdine game probably gets over. That total is high, though, 158. Grand Canyon, the game got over by a half point last time out. So, like 15 in a row. Is that Seattle? Total 140. Give me the over there. You just mentioned it, Utah State. I got to have them here. I think they get the job done. Let's hit up the questions in a minute. Let me touch the extra board for the few games. I forget who mentioned it earlier. Was it Rob Franklin? Army. I like. Yep. I'm looking at UMass Lowell a little bit there. Merrimack, St. Francis, 132. No way. Give me the under. Way too high. Under City there. Campbell, I'm looking at plus 7. Gardner-Webb, the big win. And even the under, you could look at that game. I think it's 124. I have to double check. But I know there's not a lot of movement there. 124.5. But I think the game's tight. And I think Gardner-Webb, who's playing great basketball, 7.5 is just a little bit too much. You know, this team gets in the high 50s, 60s. You know, for them to cover that, I don't think so. I think take Campbell, you know, and even look at the under in that one. Longwood over 143 if you're looking at that. Florida Gulf Coast, Jacksonville, I'd look at that under 130. So those are just the sum. We had no Babano here. I wanted to give out a few of at least the lanes I was on, Cab, since, you know.
Yeah,
I know you weren't shooting on the extra board. I know you weren't shooting on the extra board at all there. But let's put up. Anyone have any questions on any other games? Do you have any that you can recap? I'm going to pull everyone up, but hit me with one that you have. Somebody.
Here, let me. How about this? How about I do this as a good producer and we hit the Manscaped, then we come back and hit the questions, and after we hit, I got you. All right, here we go. There we go. I was able to find questions now. That gave me a second. And I look like a stellar producer, right?
All right. You're pushing it here. You hit the button. Good job. Fuck. There's picks from Dave, our guy. Here's a question. Will Cab make a bet mid-major? Come on, Dave. Hell no.
Thank you, Dave.
Not even close. Utah State's about as far as he was going to go, right, Cab?
Hey, but Utah State's a good look, though. I'm glad that you
like
it, too. Yeah.
I'm on it. Oh, there's Babano. The show's a little bit quicker. Well, we wanted to get through the show with the internet that I was dealing with too. So sorry, a little bit quicker on the show. Any questions though? Come on. We got questions or not? If not, we'll get the hell on out of here. I saw someone said Brown earlier. I like them. +2. They've been good. Me lately. I took them. I don't know if I get there in that game, but I don't mind Brown. NIU -4.5. I just don't want to lay points with them, so I'm going to be off there. Kansas first half. You take that, Cab. That's your team.
Yeah, I'm on that. That's going to be that's one of my bets there. I got Kansas first half. We are going against. I'm going to tell you a lot of good cappers that I know that are on the other side. RVD, that's too many points for me. What was it, 20.5 tonight? He asked if we were on Miami. Just too many points.
Yeah, that's just huge. It's just they could cover. I'm not going to lay that. freaking pass there. There's Big Show. What's he got here?
Where's his
+3?
question
Did
at?
you -160? He's got a Super Bowl action there.
Oh, there we go.
in that
Kansas
one.
City +3.5, -160. Yep.
Someone mentioned Towson. I don't mind it. Now it's 3. I think they're better than Drexel. They are on the road. Maybe look at Towson first half, but I think they are the better team and get that done. What else do we have here? Cornell, Harvard.
You got anything in the Bonnie's game, St. Bonaventure game?
No, I don't. I looked at that. I lean St. Bonaventure. They've been better of late. If I had to, I'd look at that. Someone mentioned Boston College. Man, Damon, I like Boston College, man. I think I might get there in this game, Gav. I talked about it a ton. I think they can keep it within 6 at home. I just, even NC State, the way they can score on the road, more talent. But, man, Boston College is gritty. And this is where I want them here at home, getting this number. So look at it. Yeah, Eastern Washington, Michael, I don't mind it. They've been playing great, and Eastern Washington overs have been solid for me lately. Yeah, Pitt. I'm going to stay off Pitt. What's up?
Cal 707 Bear asked if we should be fading Green Bay.
Yeah, you know what? After the game that they had, I don't know. I don't really love it. LaSalle. I don't want LaSalle. UMass is just in a free fall. The team can't play defense. They just ugly. Yeah, injuries killed them. I'm not going to play Pitt. I told you Pitt, Florida State. I look at the over. I know it's the early tip. I couldn't lay with Pitt on the road. I do like Michigan. I could get bit there, Cab, with that one. A lot of Indiana love, but I kind of like that. It's like, Indiana's playing so good. This team's, on fire. Give me Michigan. Take it to the bank.
And I think you got the books showing their hand. I think, man, that line ran towards Michigan when it dropped. I mean, it ran towards Michigan, which that scares the shit out of me.
Well, it's come back, though.
It has?
There's Indiana love. It's come back to 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So, it was just quick, though. It was like right when it dropped that they moved it towards Michigan, like quick. They didn't wait. Yeah. That was the thing.
Yeah, they did. Oral Roberts. That game could still get over 155. Fordham, Davidson. Yeah, Fordham's been a crazy team for me. They play a little bit better. They've been so up and down, hit and miss. Like 5. They're on the road. I like them a lot better at home. And I do not trust Davidson, period, laying points. It just seems like anytime you got to lay points, Davidson just can't get it done, especially when I'm on them. So I'd be on Fordham there. All right. I think that's about it. Northern Iowa sucks. Yeah, Indiana State, though, they've blown it for me a few times. They've played better as of late. Obviously, they score a ton, but I don't want either of those teams. We got anything else here?
Ted Butter asked about North Texas. You got anything with that?
No, I don't. I have nothing there. Off the big win, Charlotte. I mean, this total is 111. Charlotte, great under team for me. I would take the points with Charlotte. North Texas off the high of the big win, got to be a little bit letdown spot. Charlotte struggles to score, and we're seeing 111, baby. Come on now. Come on. Talk about some fucking shit basketball. Slow. Give me the 6.5 points with Charlotte. There you go. Whoever said that, take it. Maine money line. I'm not going to take Maine, but shout out to you, Rob. All right, I think that's about it. Yeah, we touched on Eastern Washington. I like them. I think they get it done. I told you their overs have been money. All right, Cab. I'll give you here these bets real quick that I was on. Murray State Bradley under 138 and 8.5. We talked about Michigan, App State, South Alabama under 129.5. Middle Tennessee UAB. I'm on the over 148 there. And give me the one you're on, Cab. Utah State. And I'll roll with you first half with it. I think they get it done full game though.
There you go. Yeah, I do too. I like them first half full game. I like Utah State.
Ahead. Hit your best bets, brother.
Okay, I got you. Kansas first half I got UCLA first half. I guess we'll keep it at 3, and I like Baylor on the money line first half. There you go. I'll
Do whatever you want.
First half. But I do have Kansas full game and Baylor full game also, if anyone's wondering. But maybe they won't be on the best bet 3. Whatever the fuck. There we go.
Yeah, give it whatever you want. So where are you on? Baylor? What? Utah? What?
I got Baylor first half and full game on the money line. I got Kansas first half full game, ATS, and then I got UCLA first half ATS. UCLA was just minus a half a point in the first half. Kansas was 1.5 in the first half. And it's 3. Even I think there's even a 2.5 out there at a couple places right now for full game.
If I were to take Kansas, I would only take them first half. They could win there because Oklahoma's shooting's bad, but I don't know. You know, what was the last time Emma came there and got trounced? I don't know if Kansas gets trounced, but Oklahoma 3 straight losses. This team is not locked and cocked. I don't know when they will be, and they play close games like we talked about. Alrighty, that is it. Brandon the Great, Gerald Jones, Justin, what's up, my man? What's going on? Jay Peasy, always in here. Lucky Power, as always, joins us. Kevin Lee, Clark, all the fucking regulars here. Jake, Burns, Big Show, Daniel Son, up in here. Wiz, Jacqueline, what's going on? Manny R, what's going on, my man? Damon. Dommy Gun, Bet with Jay, what up? Cow Bear, shout out to Andrew Carr, everyone, RVD 420, Abel A, Hicks from Dave, Smith Legacy, shout out to everyone, Spoken Mirrors, everyone that joined us. Anything, Cab, take us home, you take us out.
I got you, man. All you guys. Like C-Mac said, we fucking appreciate you. We don't got shit without you. And let's go get some motherfucking money today so that we can turn around and double that shit up tomorrow on the Super Bowl. Make sure and come out, by the way, to the Super Bowl show on PSR. Of course, you know it'll be fucking live, lit. Tons of great cappers. Come out there, kick it with our guy, Jimmy. But until next time, man, you know we love you guys, and we'll see you soon. Peace.